course. Yeah, 1300, 13900K, and I'm just working on getting set up here. Uh, yeah, let me go live here. There we go. Okay, I'm not quite all set up yet. I'm close, but let's see. Yeah, we got that all working. Okay, so let me check over here. Hello. Yeah. Okay. I'm missing a couple of things. Yesterday I'm flying an X-Plane 12.06 beta. Oh no, that absolutely sucks. Oh my word. Uh, but so we're in 1206 beta 4, and yesterday I was using the OpenXR flag, and the problem is that it's not. Hmm, that's kind of weird. It's not. So it's not set up for my. Okay, I gotta fix that. But it was. It's not set up for my valve index controllers. So basically, my index controllers they wouldn't be visible here. The other more important part is when uh, when I come in and I like touch this throttle, I feel it. I feel it in the haptics. But with the uh, with the OpenXR flag, I wouldn't feel that. So it was kind of a little bit difficult. I mean, to kind of like use it, be in the cockpit. So every time that like lights up, I'll actually feel it in my controller. So and that actually was missing. So let me get two plugins installed here. Okay. Gotta go with Fly with Lua. I have a sound one. Hello. Why didn't that work? Hmm. Lots of things aren't working this morning. Macros. Oh, absolutely. So what is wrong here? We gotta have a tab. Okay, at least that's working. So, plugins. Fly with Lua. Macro. Oh, finally. Okay. So for some reason, oh, I did the wrong button. I basically deleted all my preferences, and I basically have the wrong button set up. So let me go fix that because I know where I feel like it should be. So we'll go over here, joystick, Fulcrum 1, yo. So this one, no, that should be yoke. Why, okay, whoops, why, and Whoops. Why? Okay. I can't spell. So we got that one. Which one is it? Okay, so I'm gonna, this one here, it's gonna be none. Do nothing. So that one over there is do nothing. Okay, that's done. Back to the plane. Okay. So yes, that works the way it's supposed to work. So today I'm using a flag called d3d11, and so basically it kind of changes how the default composter, VR composter, works, and so and it allows my index controllers to be visible, the haptics to work. Uh, so that's kind of what we're going to fly today. So my goal is to I'm just going to fly this a little bit to kind of, I seen that we had some clouds in the sky, so I thought I'd kind of show them off, and we'll kind of go from there. So let me get a plane started. I think I'll do a, let me do some testing here. Does that work? ADIS clearance delivery. I had a 3090 before, and the difference between the 3090 and the 4090 was, it actually surprised me. I went from a 2080 Ti to a 3090, and there was an improvement, but I would call it modest. When I went from a 3090 to a 4090, it was huge. I mean, I couldn't believe it. At the same time I built my new computer, uh, X-Plane added the flag that I'm using today that improved the, basically, it made the GPU work harder. So that all happened at the same time. So I wasn't sure at the time which made the bigger difference. And the 4090 made a huge difference. It's like right now I'm running, so I'm in X-Plane, I have X-World, and I have Global Forest version 2. So I have some pretty heavy scenery. So if you look over here, there's scenery everywhere here. But even so, I mean, I'm running in the low teens of my GPU frame time from FPSVR. So I mean, it's doing fine. So. Oh, yes, that would be monsters. Oh, for sure. Especially like a mobile 370. So let me think here a minute. Let me turn these guys on. Let me get the beacon going. And yeah, this plane I don't need to do that. I'll get this started. Put her up to 1,000. Turn taxi light on. Here
9 miles. Sky conditions. Fuel act.
Well, let's see what she said.
2.15. Altimeter 2993. Arriving runway 06. Departing runway 06.
Yeah.
Advise on initial contact. You have information. Zulu.
Good. We're taking off on 6. Let me look there a minute. Wow. Ooh, that's pretty far off. Yeah. Here, that looks all right. Trying to make sure I could hear the plane when I throttle up. So. Okay. So we got the plane going. Let's see if pilot ATC is happy with me. No, I need to change something here. Let's do it this way. It'll be a little quicker. Yeah, we'll put round in there. Flip. Put tower here. Day weather.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf weather at Kilo Echo Romeo India is few clouds. Visibility is 9 miles. Winds are 150 at 10 knots. Cloud coverage is 1000 few clouds. Current altimeter is 29993. Temperature 24°.17.
Stay active runway.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf arriving and departing runway 06.
Okay. Okay, looks like like I got enough fuel to fly. I got good temp. Everything else looks okay. Guess we'll go fly. Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, ready to taxi.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf taxi to runway 06 via taxiways Delta, Foxtrot, Golf, hold short runway 06. Taxi to runway 06 via taxiways Delta, Foxtrot, Golf, hold short runway 06 Cessna 6 Bravo Golf.
Okay. My neighbor's running a gas-powered weed whacker, and I can hear it in the background. Kind of a little crazy. There we go. That should be better. We have a fence along our properties that kind of split them, and so he's on the other side of the fence, and it's not too far. I have my front door open, so it's not too far from there. So I can hear it. Alrighty. Because it's close enough, it almost sounds like it's in my front yard, but it's not. It's a gas-powered one, it's not electric, so it makes a bit more noise. Yeah, he wouldn't care.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf contact tower on 118.1. Have a good morning.
Cool.
Tower on 118.1 Cessna 6 Bravo Golf.
So, taxi off, nav on, strobe on, land on. Blue squares. Oh, I should explain that. So from my camera you can see my yoke. You can see when I turn it, when I shove it in and out, even though it isn't visible here. But you can't see my rudder pedals. So I created this Fly with Lewis script that basically that's my rudder pedal. So if I shove my right foot in all the way, that's pushed in all the way, and my left one's all the way back. So as I go the opposite direction, my left is all the way in, and now it's at neutral. If I rotate the pedals like you would with brakes, so as I rotate them in, those are the I'm rotating the rudder pedals, and when you push them in, then it actually is pushing. I should be able to see it. Yeah. So if I look down, you can see I'm pushing in on my brakes. The top part of the rudder pedals are the brakes. So you can see when I rotate them in. And so if I don't have the brakes on, if I go in all the way, a lot of times the emergency brake would come on, but it releases if I do that. So if the emergency brake is on and I shove them in all the way, it will actually release them. So yeah. It took me a little while. The sliders are kind of easy to make horizontal, but I had to figure out how to make them vertical, and it took me just a little while to figure that out. I think I got to go forward just a little bit here. Cessna 6 Bravo Golf ready for departure.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf winds are 150 at 10 knots. Altimeter is 299 cleared for takeoff. Runway 06.
Cleared for takeoff. Runway 06 Cessna 6 Bravo Golf.
Okie dokie. So my goal is, I think I'm going to fly out to Lost Nation. That's kind of west of us, so it's out towards Cleveland. They're lined up here. Alrighty, let's see what we can do here. So you can see as I'm, when I apply power, I have to apply some right rudder to keep the plane going straight down the runway here. So I'm applying a little bit of right rudder just to keep it straight. We got enough airspeed, we should be able to fly. And then once you're up off the ground, then you can kind of release that pressure. Sometimes I forget and I keep it applied, and so it will make the plane kind of turn off to the. So if I shove in on the right, the plane's going to turn to the right. So if it's neutral pressure, it should pretty much stay flying right straight down the runway. So all the extra houses and stuff, this is all part of X World. So it basically kind of improves the amount of scenery that you see in the sim, and also it uses Microsoft footprints so the buildings themselves should have the correct footprint from and that information comes from Microsoft. Yeah, it does. I'm pretty happy with how this works. So I think I'm gonna fly out to the east a little bit here. I want to show some things. So as we're flying out here, this is our peninsula. This is basically where I learned how to fly an airplane. So this is our peninsula, and right back here where the peninsula starts, there's an amusement park that has water rides, like a it's got a wave pool, it's got a lazy river, it's got a bunch of water stuff besides the amusement park. So. Nah. No.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, enjoy your morning. Frequency change approved.
Yeah. The fact I did this in real life probably helps tremendously, but but to me this is relaxing, so So I'm basically climbing up. I'm going to get up to about 3,000 feet and then level off. So let me look at where I'm at here. Nope, not yet. Okay, so I'll wait till I can get it out of my window here. So I'm going to pull back to about 2,200. And I'm trying to get the plane to kind of be level here. Okay, so back there's it's called the pier, and At the end of it, there's a tower, and that's kind of new. So a little bit more. So what I'm trying to do is get out here a little bit east of Erie, and then once I do, then I'm going to come back along the shoreline. So I'm just trying to get the plane balanced out a little bit here. It's close, but it isn't quite there. I want to trim to run to be about 3,000 feet. Yeah, kind of. When I looked outside, it didn't seem to be as many clouds as what I'm seeing in the sim today. So, but that's one thing that 12.06 has brought is improved clouds by a lot. I mean, these are quite realistic. So when you look at them, I mean, you can see them. And that's kind of what you'd have. You have some wispy clouds and some of them that are more solid, and then some cirrus of the ones that are kind of horizontal, like there's a cirrus. So, okay, I'm hopefully I don't get anybody sick, but I'm gonna jump out of the airplane. I think I'm trimmed up close enough. So this is a golf course, and in X World, by default, it does not look as good as it does, but there's some tweaks you can do to it to kind of make it look that way. So, I'll jump back in before I make everybody sick. Hello. No, not a hurricane. Thunderstorms, yes. Thunderstorms, yes. Get myself straightened up here. Okay. So, we'll go ahead and I'm going to turn the plane a little bit. So in an airplane, when you have it trimmed up, basically you're telling it that you're basically setting an airspeed. So there's a tab on the back, and I see I'm climbing just a little bit, not a lot really, but I'm climbing just a little bit. But there's a tab on the back of the elevator, of the ailerons and the horizontal stabilizer, and so that tab, when you run this, when you move this trim wheel, it changes the angle of that. So I'm going to see if I can jump out and actually see that. No, I ain't close enough. But over on the right hand side, there's a little piece of that, the horizontal part, that basically angles, and that's how you trim the airplane. So this, gotta get in the right place. There we go. So that's what this wheel does. This wheel moves that thing that rotates, and it controls basically what your airspeed does. That in turn kind of controls where your elevation is. So we're a little bit high. So I'm going to shove in on the. I'll turn the yoke back on. So I'm going to push in on the yoke a little bit, and then I'm going to run the trim wheel up a little bit. And so what I'm trying to do is find a balance where the adjustment of this will get the, come on, let's get down. The prop on this airplane is attached right to the engine. So as I go faster, the RPMs go up. So as I'm pushing on the yoke to put the nose down, then I go faster, which means the RPMs go up. So I have to kind of keep adjusting to kind of get a balance out of it. Once it's balanced, it'll I can fly for quite a while without it That's basically the same altitude. My goal is like plus or minus 100 feet. Good morning, Iowa Scotsman. How are you doing? I'm using a different flag today. One I can actually see my controllers in, and the haptics actually work. So much more fun to fly. Okay, I'm pretty close right now, so we'll just let it ride out like this. So we're on the basically on the east side of Erie, and 4-lane highway coming down here. That's 79. That goes to Pittsburgh. So everything, as far as I'm concerned, especially using the flag that I'm using today, everything looks pretty good. And other than the anti-aliasing needs work, especially in VR, but I would not call it terrible, but it does need improving. There's no doubt about that. So, but all in all, it has in the last few betas, it has improved tremendously. So, and it's kind of nice now that we got out of the excuse me, we got out of the developer builds and now into the public betas that basically anybody that has X-Plane can try it. So let me jump over into, we're pretty good here. So I'm gonna jump into my graphics settings. So you can see kind of where I'm at. So texture on high. I pushed this one up to ultra. And one up on that. That I've run up. I'm not using zinc right now. I find I get less stutters when I don't use it. It may be a placebo, but that's how I feel. So I'm one down on clouds. Shadows I turn off in VR because it's kind of a frame hog. And so render distance is close to high. World objects, because I'm running X World, I want to see them. So I think that's it. So, I'm going to, so yesterday, when I would come over here, I couldn't see where I was. So right now, I mean, I don't like to use the laser guy. I wanna basically put my controller right on, basically touch the buttons. When this is visually not represented, you can't tell. So it's really hard. Like, it's easy to kind of just go right straight down that line. When you can't see this, it is so hard. It is so hard to do that. I just lost a little bit of elevation here. So I'm gonna basically, I'm gonna go direct to Lost Nation. So not here, do okay. One. So it's KLNN. HIJKL, whoops, L. So enter, activate. I come down here and go nav. So basically, right now it's on it's following GPS. So you can see the magenta line here. That's what it's following. So I don't have to steer the plane now, and all I have to do is pay attention to the elevation. I'm a little bit low, so I just give it about 100 RPMs of power, just 100 RPMs more. So we're flying along the shoreline of Lake Erie, and I only use X-World and Global Forest version 2. I don't use any orthos because Laminar Research has not basically documented how this water works. So because I live along a coastline, and currently sometimes when you make ortho tiles, it doesn't work well with water. So I'm kind of like, okay, well, I'd rather just not use ortho right now until that gets documented where the ortho for XP is improved, where it basically takes that into consideration. So that's kind of where I am right now. So about 90 knots. Yep, about 90 knots. Not real fast, but it's a slow airplane. So the headset I'm using right now is a Vive Pro 2, and its native resolution is 2448 by 2448. And so basically I've kind of configured SteamVR to kind of give me that. Basically what I'm telling Explain to Render is basically that. So I think right now it's 2508 by 2508, so it's pretty close to native res. And the so how I judge if I have enough resolution in my headset is if I can look over at the distance and see it. So it's 52.0, I believe. 52.5. So, but if I can, without like leaning in, I can actually see the distance, and I can see what the remaining time is. That's enough resolution. So that's kind of how I personally judge. Is the headset have enough resolution to make this readable? And I fly in GA aircraft, so I tend to fly steam gauges, but I'll probably start running some G1000s, but I haven't currently, so that probably will make a difference also. So. But I am certainly looking forward to what a big screen beyond is going to look like in this cockpit. That I can't wait. that should just be awesome. So because actually the resolution of the big screen is pretty close to my Vive Pro 2, so it's not very different at all. So. And the fact, I hope so. Yeah, I did my face scan. I did one of the really early ones, so I haven't heard back. I haven't got an email back from them, but I talked to Shane and the other dude that does the kind of works with the face scan stuff. I can't remember his name. But they both told me that it's okay, but because I heard, they told me that my IPD was 65, and from the obstetrician it's 67. So I'm kind of curious, like, so I asked, so when you do the scan and you actually move, you know, the like the things, matching it up with your eye, how big a deal is that to get the number? And I was told it's a pretty big deal. So I'm kind of like, okay, well, when I did it on my my girlfriend's grandson's phone, and I was kind of, you know, you're borrowing somebody's phone, you're inconveniencing somebody, so you're probably kind of rushing, and so I kind of wondered, you know, is it off because of that? So in the meantime, I bought a excuse me, I bought a refurbished iPhone XR, and so I have that here at home. So I'm trying to get another email sent to me so I can do another scan to see if it makes any difference or not, because I want to kind of be sure before they make mine, you know, that it's as good as it can be. And I'm I pre-ordered on the 13th of February, so I'm pretty, but I heard a lot of people did that day, so I'm early in the stack, but I don't know how early in the stack. So I just want to make sure that anything I can do from my end, I will make it as good as it can be. So. Well, like I said, so when you got an airplane trimmed, you know, and my altitude is not on autopilot. It's just trimmed. So adjusting that tab, whatever the power is set at, so I can see I'm like losing altitude very, 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 very slowly, you know. But I mean, it's basically flying level. So let me see, what's the weather? Say weather. Say weather.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf weather at Kilo Echo Romeo India is clear. Visibility is 9 miles. Winds are 160 at 8 knots. Current altimeter is 299.2. Temperature 26°.18.
So the winds aren't too bad, so. So this town right here, this is Ashtabula, Ohio. So. Yeah, so my goal, I'm trying to fly like right around 3,000 feet, so doing a pretty good job. But I'm also just kind of doing a little bit of cloud launching, so. Yeah, so when I look over, oops. So when I look over here, over this town, Ashtabula, I can see kind of like a shimmer, you know, but if I'm, and that's kind of at an angle and at a distance, but if I'm as I get closer to it and it's more kind of like, say I'm looking out this way, I don't see any shimmers at all. So it's kind of interesting on how that works, and I'm kind of hoping that if they improve the anti-aliasing, that will get improved. So I wouldn't call it terrible, but I mean, but it's absolutely there. So like right now, when I look at that town through this angle, I don't see any shimmers at all. I see some further out, but in from about where the main roads are running this way and the railroad back in, no, there's no shimmer at all. So it's kind of like where you're looking further away, you basically see that. So. So, let me look. Okay. Oh, thank you so much for stopping by. I guess I'm under a rain cloud. What's the temperature? Okay, I'm good. Oops. I got another golf course down here. Yeah, that was a little disappointing when I first started using X World, and the golf courses weren't there. They were in the default scenery from X-Plane 12, but they weren't in X World. And I was like, because they're like, I mean, you can see like a golf course from quite a ways away. It's kind of amazing, like how that works. And part of what it is, I think it's like just the sand traps. The sand traps, just how they look. They kind of seem like you can see them from quite a distance. So it's kind of a unique shape, color, you know, that kind of stuff. Oh, so the other town was Conneaut. I had that wrong. So the town coming up is Ashtabula. So we have Conneaut, Ashtabula, and then a little further over here we have where the Perry nuclear plant is. And shortly after that, that's where I'm flying to. So. So we got 32.2 miles to go. But I've been pretty happy with how X World has brought, really improved the scenery, because the version I'm running right now is 3.0, and they have pretty much from the beginning of when 12 was released to the public, they basically had it working. So that's been kind of cool. So. Say weather at Kilo Lima, November.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf weather at Kilo Echo Romeo India is clear. Visibility is 9 miles. Winds are 160 at 8 knots. Current altimeter is 299.2.
We'll try that
Temperature
again.
262.18.
Say weather at Kilo Lima, November.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf sorry, weather for your location is not available.
Oh,
Say again weather request with airport code.
well, I did. Did I get it right? I've heard that comment, and yeah, that's kind of cool. Yeah, that's I have absolutely heard that comment. Whoops. Oh, there you go. Settle down. Yeah. Yeah, for me, kind of the what kind of keeps me here is the VR controller support, because it's how I fly, and so if that if that is not appropriately done, then I just can't. Doing a little porpoise in here. I'm not quite sure why. I'll give it a little bit of time to settle down. Could be because of the rain. Hard to tell. Yeah, I keep FS updated and stuff, you know, so I can fly it at any time, and I keep checking it, but what I'm seeing here in 12, it's like, no, I'm good. I'm really good. Yeah, because I had heard some comments, you know, that the clouds in VR were not good, and I'm kind of like, I don't know. What I'm seeing is, I'm thinking it's pretty good, so, you know. Because something that I think changed is like where you can see the blue behind the clouds, you know, because the clouds are here and then behind it isn't, and so you can actually see that. So, but the weather UI though, that's got some work to be done to it, because it doesn't necessarily match what you see in the sim. So They had a pretty good rainstorm here. But the rain, like, I kind of like it. That's pretty believable. Yeah. So, over here on the right, there's two white things sticking up. Those are cooling towers from Perry Nuclear Power Plant. You know, it's kind of neat that, I'm not sure if they're in there in the default sim or if X-World put them there. But they're absolutely there, and that's what they look like, you know, at a distance. It's a serious landmark, so. Because a couple of, when I was working at Welch's, a couple of the Church of Murdoch electricians, or contract electricians, they basically worked there and helped build that power plant. So many years ago now, but. Looks kind of right. I mean, when I'm looking like up above me, the cloud is, it's dark. So normally that means there's water in it. So and as long as it's 65 degrees, yeah, it's just raining. So. Now, if it was 35 degrees or 32 degrees, that'd be a different story. And one of the things I guess I've probably been most impressed about is when I was flying in 11, if there was a cloud over my head, I would watch the frames drop. We'll say I was running 45 frames. The frames would drop probably more than 5 and sometimes 10. Just because the cloud was over top of the airplane. As soon as that cloud was no longer over the airplane, the frames would go back to where they were before. These frames don't change. I mean, whether it's kind of like it is today, where it's kind of scattered, or maybe close to overcast, but it's not quite overcast, or few. The frames don't seem to change. I mean, that's kind of that's pretty cool, where you can have all this kind of different weather, and you don't kill the frames because you get to enjoy the weather. That's pretty cool. I don't know how they pull that off, but that's certainly what I'm seeing in 12 for sure. So. And the fact I can keep around 45 frames in VR, yeah, I'm good. I'm way good. Because I can get down, if I get down to about 30, that's when you start, how should I put that? when you turn your head, the scenery doesn't keep up with you, and that can be nauseating to say the least. So, but if it's like 30 and above, nah, that doesn't seem to happen at all. So. Yeah, so on the sectional, that actually calls them out, these guys here. So. Because, I mean, those are really, like, well rendered. I mean, where you have the white top, and then you have, you know, down at the bottom where all the lattice work is, where the air comes in. That's actually quite well rendered. That's pretty cool. So I heard one of the cities in contention for the next Flight Sim Expo is Cleveland, which for me would be pretty cool because I could drive to it. So, because Cleveland from my house is about 100 miles, so it's about 2 hours or less. So that'd be quite neat. So. And I'm not sure where they would do it is, if they would do it at you know, at Cleveland Hopkins, or if they would do it at Burke. I'm not sure where. I'm not sure. They just said Cleveland, so I'm not sure which place they would do it at. So I just don't know what the infrastructure is at either place that could accommodate that. It would definitely be cooler than Houston. Houston was warm. But I'm glad I had the opportunity to try on a Pimax Crystal and a Vario Aero. I was glad that I had that opportunity. I can't remember now. Cleveland like just jumped out at me, kind of like, really? So I don't remember right now. But it's actually really early stages, so. Oh, no doubt, no doubt. Say weather.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf weather at Kilo Echo Romeo India is...
Say weather.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf weather at Kilo Lima November is broken. Visibility is 10 miles. Winds are 158 at 5 knots. Cloud coverage is 8,000 broken. Current altimeter is 2987. Temperature 26°.15.
Say active runway.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf arriving and departing runway 10.
Let's see if I can figure out which runway's which. Okay. So I'm thinking it's this one here. So, get over here a little closer. Cessna 6 Bravo Golf requests touch and go runway 10.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, this is Lake County Executive Unicom on 122.72. Please repeat your request.
So we got no towers, so all you can do is state intentions. Trying to make sure. I put 10 in my heading bug here, so I'm flying over here kind of close. I want to get close enough that if I'm parallel to it, the heading bug is where it belongs. I'm too high right now, and that's fine. Yeah, it's looking right. Okay. His elevation 6,600 feet, so yep, I'm gotta be good. So not too bad. I'm gonna do a touch and go. At least that's the plan. So I'm about 1500 RPM. Trying to be about 65 or 70 knots. I'm trying not to turn too steep here. Everything looking not too bad. So we should have another knot to flap there. give it just a little bit more throttle. It'll make me feel a little more comfortable. Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, turning final, runway 10.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, this is Lake County Executive Unicom on 122.72. Please repeat your request.
So we got 2 notches of flaps in. Happy to say I'm high. We're going to pull back power a little bit. Get a little better aligned with the runway. I think we got a little bit of a displaced threshold here. So this guy's about 3,500 feet. Should be more than enough room to get this down and back up. Okay. Easy, easy. Just a double check, make sure the flaps are up. Up we go. That looked like an interesting place for a tower. I was like, what is that? Oh my word, it's a tower. So we're gonna fly back to Erie. So that all didn't turn out too bad. I'm pretty happy with what I got there. So when I was training, that would be a pretty common flight that we would fly from Erie to Lost Nation and then back to Erie again. So remember one time we were flying out and inland, probably 5 miles. There was a thunderstorm building. So as you're flying, you're actually watching the clouds like building. It was like something I'll just never ever forget. It's kind of like, and I looked at my instructor. I says, should we be concerned about that on the flight back? And he says, I think it'll be okay. It'll probably just stay in when I'm like, oh, okay. If it doesn't, we're in trouble. Because we ain't gonna go out over to the lake getting around it. So, and it's a 172. There ain't no way it's got enough climbing, enough ceiling that you're gonna get over anything. So, but distinctly remember that. So. Yeah, because I intentionally haven't been streaming for a little bit here because every time I would try to fly in VR, I just wasn't happy. So so I just chose to kind of take a little hiatus and kind of wait, and things towards the end of 5 and certainly at the beginning of 6 really started. I could certainly see that there was some emphasis being put on VR, but I also was kind of disappointed because, quite frankly, at the beginning of 6, the Valve Index controllers weren't even supported. Because I went to use it and my controller's being found as a Rift. I was like, what the heck is this? So I asked on Slack. I says, hey, what's up? And so they says, get a hold of Chris. And I said, all right. So I emailed Chris, and I think I was about 4 or 5 versions of not of X-Plane, but of a configuration file that basically added support for the Valve Index controllers. So I kind of helped test and get that working. So, but there was a couple of things that I missed. Is the one thing I did miss is that the visibility of them was not there. I didn't miss that part. But what I did miss was the haptic. So when I go over here and I touch this flap lever, I can feel it in the haptic on the Valve Index controllers, but if I use the Open XR flag, it doesn't work. Not only is it not visible, but the haptic doesn't work either. So it's kind of like, and that's very important. I mean, to me, it's very important for that to actually work. So, but I'm also hearing about some people are having trouble, like people with like a G2, where it's also showing up as a Rift, and they found some workarounds for it, but that's the way it's supposed to work. It should be that if you start with like a clean copy, basically your joystick config file is gone or it's gone. How it's supposed to work is when X-Plane first starts up, it finds your controller, so if it's a G2, it should find it, and it should populate. It should populate the joystick settings file, or the GUI, the user interface. But that's not going on. It's getting the wrong name. So it's kind of like, so there's got to be something wrong with that configuration file also, that needs to be fixed too. So, but it's all pretty new. So. And there's a lot of people not completely understanding how OpenXR is kind of implemented with X-Plane. So that is also a bit of a problem. So just lack of documentation. It's that simple. So because most of what most of my knowledge is nothing I read. I may have asked questions, or I may just played and just figured it out. So. So, looks like a little under 45, like 45.3 miles to go back to Erie. And that all looks like pretty good. You know, where you've got the white clouds and then you've got the dark clouds, got rain, water in them. So more than likely when we get underneath that guy, we're gonna get rain. So. Or it may be giving us rain right now. So, that's okay. Like I said, I mean, it's 65 degrees. It's just rain. So. But it's kind of cool to see what rain looks like in, not only in the sim, but in VR in the sim. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty realistic. So that's neat. And it just doesn't have any influence over the frame. I mean, this whole my whole flight has been really close. I mean, where the CPU frame time has been just under 10 the whole time, and the GPU frame time has been between, 11, 12, right in that range, but not moving a lot. That's pretty cool. I'm happy with that. Yeah, I was pretty happy when I started streaming again that nothing was like too broke. But yesterday I was using the OpenXR flag, and they ended up breaking some things, and so when I went back to not using it, one of my index controllers was almost like both of them were paired to the same thing. I was like, well, that's no good, so it took me a little while to kind of unbreak that. I finally figured it out and got it working. So but I was pretty happy that I didn't have to work too hard to get it to back to the place where it was when I was streaming before. So because I think I quit streaming around maybe 03, beta 3 or something like that. I quit streaming, so just I just wasn't happy. So that looks a little weird. That cloud there is like vertical. It's got like something sticking down, kind of like you would think it might be like a start of a tornado. It's kind of like, no, I don't think so, but it kind of looks that way. That's kind of weird. But all in all, I've been really happy, especially the last couple of days where I could stream and it actually would it come off pretty well. So the stream from yesterday, I put it up on YouTube, and it's probably done processing by now, because it was it was doing the HD part of it after I got it uploaded. Yeah. It looked kind of docile, so. Yeah, I had some clouds yesterday that were really, really weird. They were square. So looking up, they were like each side of them was like had 90-degree corners in them. I was like, well, that don't look quite too real. You know? There's like two of them that were that way, where they weren't exactly the same, but each one of them had like a 90-degree corner in it, and it's kind of like, that's odd. So. Yeah, so for the last few flights, I've disabled zinc because I had heard some reports that, especially if you're on like a NVIDIA card, that you'll get like micro stutters out of it. So I'm trying it with it unchecked, because I have been running it pretty much ever since it got released. I've been using it, and even though I had a NVIDIA card, and I have to say, when it was checked, I thought I did see some like micro stutters. They're really, really fast, and but I don't see them anymore with it unchecked. So whether it's relevant or not, I'm not sure. I just know it's just kind of anecdotal evidence that just what I've been seeing. So, because every once in a while I like look down just. And what I would see is every once in a while you would see the scenery just stop and then start again. So, but I don't see that at all. It just moves. So, and it was irrelevant to the frame times. The frame times were good, and it still was. I would still see that. So it was kind of. I don't know if I had seen that before. Normally, if you get your frame times up too high, of course you're going to see stutters, but they weren't high at all, so. Be interesting. Yeah, so it's kind of sounding like my new headset, the Big Screen Beyond. It sounds like for like at least people that pre-ordered it pretty early, that maybe at the end of this month or the beginning of next month, because it's supposed to be Q3, so it could be this month or next month. So, but it sounds like not too far off now, so that's going to be kind of cool. So I'll get to experience what a really small, light headset feels like. So. Because this one is not that. Yeah, this guy here must go, yeah, I'm thinking he's around 1,200 grams, so it's not light. It's fairly comfortable. I mean, and once I put it on my head, I don't have to play with it to find the sweet spot. It's kind of, the comfort kit I put on it kind of makes it like a hat. So once you put it on, it's pretty good. I mean, it's it stays in that sweet spot pretty good. So that's nice, but I know it's heavy because I've added like counterweights to the back of it, and I've added a wide strap on the top. I've added a fan to it, so I've added a bunch of gadgets to it to kind of make it as comfortable as I could, and it seems to work. So, and visually it's okay. I mean, so because it's like the crystal is out, and I got a chance to try one, but it's like, what is it, 2880 by 2880, so it's 400 per side higher, but it's kind of like, but you also got to drive it with your hardware. I mean, and if you can't drive it with your hardware, then what do you do? So it sounds like they're doing a thing called foveated rendering, where basically they kind of look at where your eyes are looking, and then only render that area of the screen in high resolution, and the rest of it not. The problem is that the only people that get to like try that are a few of the testers, and they're using beta software to do that. So not everybody who has bought one can use it. So it's like, that's kind of, it's a little bad, I think, you know, kind of like, not be disappointing if you spent that kind of money and you couldn't use all the features that are there, but if it's not quite ready for prime time, then maybe that is the right choice. So but it does seem like it's the crystal's kind of hit and miss. I mean, like some people like get, like, it really works well for them, and then other people it doesn't, and it doesn't work. I mean, it works very badly. So it seems like there's a quality assurance issue going on there, that not all are the same. So which is not a good thing if you're spending $1,600 for a headset. So but I know when I tried it at Flight Sim Expo, I did not get a wow factor out of it. Just did not. So the dude there, the guy that was at the booth there at Pimax, it's the same guy that does the trailers and stuff for them. And when I first tried it, I did a circuit, and did a landing, and I says, I tell you quite frankly, I said, this doesn't look any better than my Vive Pro 2. And he was like, he was at a loss for words. I was kind of like, and he goes, well, maybe your IPV is wrong. I went, oh, okay. He says, you know where the buttons are? I said, no. And so he showed me, and it was off by a little bit, so I adjusted it. But it isn't like it went to a wow factor then. No, it just didn't. I mean, it just didn't see it. But one thing, as clarification, I was wearing my glasses. My glasses are bifocal. So there is a chance that I wasn't looking through the lens, my glass lens correctly. And that was a problem. And it could very well been that. So I went from that headset, and because Pimax's booth was right across the aisle from X-Plane, so I went over to X-Plane, and the VTOL people, they were demoing the flight controls that they use for their test pilots, and they had an Aero there, a Vario Aero. So that was the next headset I looked at. But in the Aero, I took my glasses off, and that was night and day. That was, I understand why people, you know, say the Aero is really, really, really good, because it looked quite nice. So, you know, but quite frankly, is it, you know, it's $2,000. So I mean, it's kind of like, how good is it? Yeah, it's good, but you know, what, how should I put that? How much is it worth to you? You know, so. So it'll be interesting when I get to Beyond to see what, now that I have actually looked at those two headsets, you know, I have some point of reference, so. But it's been kind of cool today, you know, where you get to see really a lot of different kinds of cloud formations. That's been kind of neat. I was kind of hoping that was going to be true today, you know, that it isn't terrible weather, you know, some rain, yeah, that's okay. But just the different cloud formations, like that one there, it's a little different, you know. It looks nice. I mean, I'm happy, so. And everything just looks, I mean, that's why I always use this, is it gives me a very good understanding of what's being rendered, how hard am I working, you know, how hard is the GPU working, the CPU's sleeping. It absolutely is sleeping. So, heck, I'm under 60 C on my CPU. That's cool. That's really cool. Actually, the GPU isn't working that hard. It's only 60 C. That's pretty low. But that, I have a 4090, and I keep hearing people that say that thing runs really hot, and I'm like, no, I don't see it. I don't see it on mine, so it may on somebody's, but I don't on mine. But I'm running an Asus. I think it's an Asus ROG, I think is what it is, and I've been really happy with it. But I bought because I knew I was getting a 4090. I bought a power supply to match. So my power supply, I have the 12 volt cable. It's one cable, so it plugs right into the power supply. The same connector that's on the graphics card is on the power supply, so it's one cable, and it plugs in. And also I bought a Landmy LandCool 3, and that graphics card is probably 3 inches away, maybe 2 inches away from the glass side. So I don't have any issue with like having to sharply bend the cable, you know, as it leaves the graphics card to get it down to the power supply. Nah, there's no need for any of that at all. My bend is probably 1.5 inches or 2 inches away from the card, so there's no stress on the connector whatsoever. So, but it's all in buying hardware that matches what you want to do. So. Whoops. Alrighty. So I'll flip that over to the tower. I'll put here ground in. Standby. Oh, we're 17 miles out. We'll see if I'm on tower frequency. We'll see if this works. Probably won't. Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, say active runway.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf arriving and departing runway 06.
It worked. Yeah, so we're 16.6 miles out. So when I get about 10 miles out, I'll make a call, get permission to land. So. Okay, so we just flew over Conneaut. So I think Ashtabula should be next. So. I didn't check my RAM real close when I started, but we're using a good hunk of RAM. If you had 32, you'd be 26. Yeah, you'd be getting close. But I don't remember what I was using to begin with. I thought it would be less than that, but maybe not. Because the only other thing I see right now is I see I'm getting like drop frames, and you can actually see that in FTSVR. The purple guys, pretty sure. Yeah, the purple lines, those are drop frames. But even though I'm dropping frames, it doesn't necessarily mean that I'm getting stutters. It just kind of keeps track of them. That was a couple of them. So, interesting. But it doesn't, I don't see, quite frankly, I don't see stutters at all, so. It seems pretty smooth. Man, looks like I'll have enough fuel to get back to Erie. I'll put this guy over on 6. That's not 6 Bravo Golf, inbound to land, runway 06.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, good afternoon. Altimeter is 2991, enter pattern on a left downwind for runway 06, pattern altitude is 1,700 feet. Call downwind.
Okay.
Enter pattern on a left downwind for runway 06, pattern altitude 1,700 feet, Cessna 6 Bravo Golf.
so I can just barely make out the peninsula over there. So I would rather not go out over the lake and make an entry into the downwind. So I'm going to go to the right of the airport and go around the airport. So we'll go over here. And get to the right of the airport. Probably, I think I'll stay at around 3,000 feet, and but the pattern altitude is like 1,700, so I'll be 1,000 feet above, a little over 1,000 feet above the pattern. I'm looking for 90. If I can find 90, I can follow 90 down to Erie. I think it's over there. I think that's it. That'll keep me about 4 miles south of Erie. So yeah, it's right there. There's a railroad track. They run alongside the airport. Where 90, it's quite a bit south. And we get over on a heading of basically 060. That's what the runway heading is. So that'll get me south enough and parallel to the airport. Yeah, because 90 here is quite a way. You can see it. You can see that four-laner. You can see the shoreline. So it's quite a bit of ways from the shoreline here. But as you get closer into New York State, then it gets real close. It gets real close to the shoreline. So it's not on the shoreline, but it's maybe a mile, mile and a half away from the shoreline. For here, it's better than 5 miles. So you can see where the peninsula connects to land. It kind of like points right to the airport. So it's a nice landmark to. And you can see it, like our training area is in Edinburgh, and that's probably 10 miles south. And if you're at like 3,000 feet, you can generally, you can't necessarily see the airport. You can see where there isn't anything. You know, you kind of see the lack of buildings and all that stuff, what you see. But a lot of times you'll see the shoreline and you'll kind of see, kind of in the distance, you'll see that peninsula. So. See how it's climbing a little bit. I pulled power back to 2,000. So. Yeah, it looks like there must be two separate golf courses because there's one here, and then you see like some water, and then there's one on the other side. So they look separate. They don't look like they're together at all. So there's Erie. So we got runway 06 and 24. And then the little shorty, he's 2 and 20. Rarely used. I've landed on it though in real life. My instructor, we were doing some pattern work, and he called the tower and says, "Hey, we wanna land on 20," and they called the tower. So we landed on there. It is short. It is really short. What is it? Let me look. Yeah. So the main runway is 7,400 feet. 2 and 20 is 2,300 feet. So it's really short. But I did fine, you know, because your approach is over the lake. It's not bizarre. Okay. So I'm looking for 79. Can't quite tell if my neighbor's got a chainsaw or a weed whacker. Almost sounds like a chainsaw. We've got one tree on my property that he agreed that he was gonna take down for me, and he hasn't gotten to it yet, so he may be after it. Gonna have his girlfriend's got a birthday coming up, and he's got a big bonfire he's gonna have, so he's looking for wood. So alrighty, I'll go ahead and turn over here, and I'm slowly trying to get rid of some elevation, so I kind of want, once I get to the downwind, to be about 2,000 feet. So not bad. Nice fun day to go flying. That's cool. Nothing too eventful. That's okay. Every once in a while I see kind of I guess I would call it a stutter. In my visual, just kind of like the scenery stops and then just really quickly stops and then starts again. Alrighty, I'm at 2,000 feet, so I'm at 2,000 RPM. That's all pretty good. Make sure nobody's coming. I need to do an evasive. Nope. So, and that has been kind of cool today. There's the different cloud formations that has been presented. It's really nice. Really, really nice. So out of curiosity, so scattered. So a few cumulus scattered. Cool. I would say that's about what I'm seeing. So that's neat. it was dropping a little bit in elevation. I just pulled back on the yoke just a small bit, and I'm going to stay at 2,000. Just to kind of get the airspeed down just a little bit. So probably want to be down here, maybe 80, 85, somewhere in there. Looks like I'm a little bit below that, but we're okay. Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, downwind, runway 06.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf call turning final for runway 06.
Cool. And she's been happy with me today. That's been... Sometimes pilot's ATC is a challenge. Normally it's because I'm not doing the phraseology that she's looking for. So, but it's okay. I just learned to get better. It's kind of interesting how the shoreline is. Like, that looks like rock. And when you get over here, it looks like that's sand. It's like there's sand here, and then a little bit further is rock again. That's interesting. Okay. So we're trying to stay parallel with the runway, looking for the end of it. So that's the end of it. So I'm going to pull back on the power. Hold up on the yoke. Put one notch of flaps in. And one. There we go. Whoops. Okay. It's set up pretty good. A little quick. That should bleed off. Okay. Looking to be 45 degrees from, I would say that's close. So go ahead and turn in. Second notch. Making sure the plane is still descending. Because if it's climbing, I run out of airspeed. A little bit steep, but not bad really. Okay, I'm okay. So we're at 1500 RPM. Didn't quite turn it up yet. There we go. That's a little closer. Cessna 6 Bravo Golf turning final.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf winds are 140 at 7 knots, cleared to land runway 06.
Cleared to land runway 06 Cessna 6 Bravo Golf.
Yeah, it looks like I was getting a little bit low. So I give it a little bit more power. Yeah, definitely getting a little slow here.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf exit runway when able.
Yeah, that was looking kind of ugly. Pretty late in the final. Kind of like, oh, wow. But I pulled it out. Because I had it trimmed wrong. That's what I had. It took me a while to figure it out. Oh yeah. Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, clear of active runway 06.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, welcome to Erie International Ridge, contact ground on 121.9er, have a nice day.
Ground on 121.9er Cessna 6 Bravo Golf.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, request taxi to general aviation parking.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, taxi to general aviation parking via taxiways Alpha, Echo, Bravo, hold short runway 02. Taxi to general aviation parking via taxiways Alpha, Echo, Bravo, hold short runway 02 Cessna 6 Bravo Golf.
Every once in a while when I land here, I contact ground. It's kind of like he woke him up from a nap or something. It's like, you know, I mean, I used to like, if he didn't immediately respond, I would give another call, but I've learned that no, just wait. Yeah, he'll get around to respond. Yeah, there's another one. There's a square one. It's almost 90 degrees. It's pretty bizarre. Don't know if I've seen that in real life. So back to Erie. Most of this looks pretty good. I reworked this airport for 12, so I kind of like to look at it and see what could be improved. And but I like it. It looks pretty nice.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, cross runway 02.
Okay.
Cross runway 02 Cessna 6 Bravo Golf.
So they give me the okie dokie. Alrighty. Yeah, this looks like the updated one. I don't know if that's live in the sim or not, though. I may have put it in here. Kind of like, where are you going? Hello. You can wait for me. Give me enough momentum. Okay, we made it. Whoops. Oh. All right. Back. Yeah, not bad. Not bad at all. So, flew out to Lost Nation. Come on back. Took a look at clouds while we were flying. And all in all, I'm pretty happy with the VR experience. This is much improved. Kind of like looking like my new upcoming headset and X-Plane 12 are going to kind of come together. That'll all be pretty nice to be flying in a pretty sim with a brand new VR headset. That's going to be fun. If you enjoyed this kind of content, please click on the follow button. And, you know, I normally, when I go to stream, I try to put up starting stream soon, about 15 minutes before I actually will start. And but if somebody kind of like jumps in the chat before that 15 minutes has expired, I'll just start the stream early. So thanks for all who stopped by, and not sure when I'll stream again. Be pretty good. Oh, thank you so much, Iowa. You have a great day also. So we'll end it there, and this went well enough. I certainly think I'll make a highlight of it, and it'll end up going on YouTube. So we'll see you later. Bye bye.